Hi and welcome to my channel and welcome to this brand new video. I hope you like this video, and if you do, please click the like button below and let's get on to the video. In this video, I would like to share some tips and tricks on how to get more productive in your daily basis. These tips and tricks can be useful in the daily life and can help you reach your goals. It can also be a motivation, and it can ease the stress and can also make it easier to cope with. It can sometimes be a struggle to cope with the things we have to do and to do the things that need to be done. So these tips and tricks are a direction to where we want to be. We can sometimes procrastinate and push the things we have to do later, but then it's just more stressier, and it can be hard to deliver good quality things when you have to do it in the last minute. These tips and tricks can also be a way to sort out all the thoughts you have in your head, or you just need some tips to be more structured or organized. Okay, so before I start this video, I just have to make some things clear. These tips and tricks don't apply for everybody, and it's not for every type of people. It's just my experience and what I have snapped up with during my years and how I get productive. So it's just from my experience, and I hope I can help you. I hope I have something that you also can insert in your day. So I just hope to inspire other people to be more productive in their daily life. So if you have found something that fits your type, then keep doing what you do and keep being productive. Your way is the one that fits your needs. But if you have some tips you want to share, you can leave a comment down below, and I would love to hear what you have to say and how you are productive in your daily life. I will try them all, so please write a comment down below. Okay, now we can jump into the tips. Okay, so these tips are some tips I've written down and some tips I just remember that they are making a productive impact, or it just does an impact that makes my day productive. Okay, so these tips and tricks I have written down, so they are on my computer, which stands down here. So if I look that way, it's because I need to make sure I include everything in this video. So I can start with where the day starts, which is the morning. So the tip here is that you can wake up early to do the things you want to do and to achieve your goals right early, so that you have a few hours to do the things you want to do. So when you wake up early, you have a few hours to do the things that you want to achieve that day and to be more productive than if you would have waken up just moments before you are going to work or to school. This can be a very good productive tip, since when you're starting your day, you have energy and are willing to do things that day to strive to achieve your goals, and you're motivated. If you wake up early, you will be ahead of people that might just still are asleep, which will give you more time to do what you want to do, and you will have a head start to where you want to go. So when others are sleeping, you are making progress. And that's a very good thing, since you would have been sleeping, so you're doing things now that you wouldn't have done since you were sleeping then. If I'm making myself clear. One example I could make is that currently you might wake up just before you have to leave for school or work. You just have a small amount of time to do the things you need to be doing before you go to work or school. So you don't have a lot of time to think about things or to be productive just before you go and will work. And then when the days they go by, you're still working at things on another place, and then when you come home, you are going to be tired, and you're not going to be willing to do the things or have the motivation to do the things you want to be doing, to the things you want do, the things you strive for. And if you are not being productive, you are not going to achieve the goals you are planning, and you ain't going to see the result you want to see and to achieve. And this is not the only tip I have for you to be productive, but this is a very good thing, since you're getting more time in your day than you wouldn't have if you just would have been sleeping in that time. Another tip I have is to be more structured in the day, which you can do by planning your day and to write down everything you want to achieve that day, and to write down goals and to find the time in your day to do those things. This can lower your stress level and can make your productivity to be increasing. To be structured and have a plan for the day is very important if you want to achieve things on a regular basis, and if you want to achieve the goals you have planned for the long-term goals. So you have to do things in your daily basis, which is small things, in order to reach the bigger goals. By writing down your things, you don't have to juggle more than one thing at a time, so that will be good for yourself and for your productivity to be even more productive. You can get more things done in less time, and you can also be focused on the thing you're doing rather than just think of a lot of things you want to do. Your tasks don't have to be so major, since everything you're thinking about can be written down, so your head doesn't think, you don't have to think of any small thing that you have to do. So just write down everything you come up with, so that your mind is clear and you can work on what you want to work on in that moment. Okay, so this will bring me to the next tip, which is always have some kind of notebook with you, because they're very handy if you want to write down things you're thinking about constantly. It can be whatever you're thinking about, and you can bring a notebook that has blank pages and just write everything, or sketch pictures that you're imagining, or whatever you're thinking about. It can be very good to have some kind of notebook, since everything is gathered in just one notebook. Or if you are a person that prefer digital writing, then go ahead and do that. It just as well works. After all, we always carry a technical device with us at all times, so that would be perfect. But in my personal opinion, I prefer a physical notebook. And I have just purchased my physical notebooks wherever I travel, and I just find them in a regular store. It doesn't have to be so complicated. Just find a notebook that can fill the purpose. These notebooks I just use to write down things I come up with, or I have a picture of something I want to remember, or anything that I just think of for that moment. I just write them down, and later I can look back and see what I thought of before, and I think it's just great. Since I also really like to physically write down my thoughts or my tastes. Oh, and I have a good tip for if you're having a nightmare or something, that that also requires to write down things. And if you have a nightmare or something big that you want to write down that bothers you, you can just write it down by hand and then do what you want with it. Just you can throw it away since you maybe don't want to be reminded of it. That can also be one thing if you are thinking about something. Write it down and decide what you want to do with it. If you have a notebook, then try to always bring it with you, since your thoughts can come whenever. So try and bring it with you at all times. Also, if you try to write on a notebook, just write every thought in it so you have every information gathered. That will make it easier to find. Okay, so another tip I have is to take care of your time. In my opinion, I think it's a very, very important thing to do, to take care of your time and to achieve things you want to do with your time. Not just throw it away and think of things you want to do and then you don't come to a conclusion to do it. Just do it. Also, if you are given a opportunity, just take it, because that might be an opportunity that comes once in a lifetime. And take care of your time and be willing to do things that is out of your comfort zone, but not too much, since that can maybe hurt you or anything else. But be safe and use your time wisely. If you have taken care of your time and done things that you really enjoy and want to do, you are going to feel so much better when the week ends or when the month ends, since you're going to feel some sort of fulfillment, and that feeling is so good. And it will make you want to achieve more and to be more motivated to do more things and to want to get that feeling again. Then at the end of the week, you're going to gonna be relaxed and feel like you have done something with your time that you really thought was important. To have something like a plan or a checklist can be very good, since the feeling of checking off something is very good and can get you be more motivated and can make a feeling that makes you want to thrive for even more things to do and to fulfill more goals. Okay, so I have some tips to when you're going to plan your day and what to do, and to do it the most productive way, at least in my opinion. So if you have a lot of things you want to do, you can write down everything on a list, everything you think about, and not just the bigger things. Write everything down and then check it so that you have got everything you want to do to just do. It might just not be the week or the day, just everything you think about, and you can solve it after that. Also, sorry for the noise. When you write everything down, you have a better overview of what you have to do and how much it is. When you have everything written down, it's also very good to write down all of the due dates on every task, so that you have an overview of when you have to do something and how much time you have on yourself to do the task. The due dates are very important, since you can get a better overview of how you're going to plan your day and your week ahead, and because they give you an overview of how big your time frame are. It can also tell you what you need to prioritize and which tasks you need to do first. So when you have everything written down, you have kind of two categories, which are the bigger tasks and the easier tasks or small tasks. And from here you have two options. Which I can think of. So these two are either if you take the bigger tasks or those tasks that has the shorter due date, if you do those first, or the other tasks can be that they are smaller or things you just can do whenever. So they are not strained by any particular due date. The reasons for both of these options can be that you might want to do the bigger tasks first because then you have them out of your way. Or if you want to do the smaller tasks first, you might want to get into the game and just start from somewhere and then go into the bigger tasks so that you have some kind of flow, or that you feel energized to do the bigger tasks because you feel like you have done something already. Okay, so another tip is that you write goals for every day or some small achievements you want to achieve that day. That can be just to make your head want to thrive for something that particular day. So it can be something like you want to exercise that day, and just at the end of the day you can check it off and you can feel some kind of fulfillment, since you might feel that you have done something that day. And it can be very good for yourself and your future goals. You can write down these goals on just a piece of paper, or you can write down it in your calendar, but you should have some kind of thought that wants you to make to accomplish these goals and to finish them that day, because if you don't do that, you're going to feel some kind of regret that you haven't done them. So try to always complete them and start fresh the next day. Another tips is that when you're going to do these tasks, you want to do every task one by one so that you don't multitask, or you're trying to think of more than one thing at a time, because you need to be focused on just one thing, otherwise you are going to just be all over the place and not productive. If you try to do more than one thing at a time, you are going to just deliver half good quality on everything, so that just isn't a good choice. When you're being productive, you want to make sessions so that you are focused some time and then you're going to take a break, because when you're focused on something, you're going to be the most productive. So for example, there is a study that says that you are productive or focused just 20 minutes. These numbers are just general, so you can be more productive. You can feel focused for longer or shorter time, but this is just a study. So in this study it says that you should be focused 20 minutes and then take a break for 5 minutes. So when you then have this 20 minutes, you're going to work very hard and really do the things you are going to do. Then the 5 minutes you can do whatever you want, but these 5 minutes can also be used to refresh the brain and to do something that will pump up your blood flow, so that your brain will get more blood and you will think better. So these things you can do during your break, it can be some exercises or something that makes your brain stimulate, since you want to get the focus back, because when you have done some 20 minutes you may be a bit tired, so you want to get that focus and energy reloaded again. So you can do some kind of exercise where you just jump up and down, or you're doing some kind of brain exercise, or just some movement. Or you can do something that makes your brain think, some kind of problem that you are going to solve. So you might be using some apps that can help you with the brain stimulation, or you can use some kind of physical thing, maybe Rubik's cube or some card game, or anything that makes you relax but not too much. You don't want to use your phone, since that's your brain are just being totally relaxed, which you don't want on your work, because if your brain disconnects, then it's hard to get it connected again when you're going to work. It's good to get your body moving, because when you sit down, your body is kind of in a pause mode, and when it's in a pause mode, the blood just don't flows as well, and it can be the body just that doesn't feel good then. So and then your brain doesn't feel good. So if you can get some kind of movement, then that's perfect. Okay, so here comes some extra small tips, and one of them are try to see everything in a positive way. So you're going to want to try for your goals and see the positive thing and see the consequences of it, because if you do something, you're going to get to receive something good. So think that you are doing something good for yourself. The other one is do one task at a time, so that you don't multitask, because that's not efficient. Give yourself a treat every time you have done a task, because that can make you motivated to do more tasks. It can be some kind of food related thing, or if you want to watch a short clip or something that makes you happy, or something that rewards you. Getting started is the most important, because when you have started something, it's more easier to move on with the things and to keep doing it. Don't procrastinate, because that's something you will regret. If you really want to do a task and then just don't do it, you're going to regret it and you won't get that time back. I hope this video was for some kind of help, and I hope you learned something more about being productive in your day, and I hope also that some of these tips you can implement in your day to get it more structured and organized. And if you did like this video, please click the like button below, and if you have tried some of these and if you had some other tips, please comment them below and I will try them out, because I'm seeking for more and more inspiration. So I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!
What my secret is, I just smile and say